Hi my babies, hi, and welcome back to another spiritual message. Today's spiritual message is small thing to a giant, you can overcome it, okay? Like I always tell y'all, mind of a champion, heart of a warrior. They're saying right now it is time for you to buckle down into that warrior spirit, because that warrior spirit is not for the weak. So we've been speaking about David and Goliath, and when it actually came up in the reading, I already had the spiritual message written down. So I'm going to read a few parts of the scripture of it. I'm not reading the whole thing, okay? So the first part they got me focusing on is when Saul answered David and said, "You cannot go up against the Philistine and fight with him, for you are only a youth, while he has been a warrior from his youth." They're saying some of y'all, like they say, new levels, new devils. That's what you're coming up against right now. Remember, we are under this Mars retrograde. We literally just had the 111 portal. The thing about the number 11, it is about stepping into your leadership role, stepping into your destiny, your calling, your God-given mission. So for the number 11, and for this 111 portal to be up under this Mars retrograde is going to cause wars or butting heads. And like I even said, I believe it was in that Black Moon reading, that in the next 2 weeks, you're going to have to slay a demon. It's something that you're going to have to face, that you're going to have to slay, that you're going to have to conquer, that you're going to have to overcome. And just like I always tell y'all, the only way to overcome something is to confront it. People think confrontation is a bad thing. Confrontation is not a bad thing. It means that you're willing to face whatever the obstacle or the situation is. Now, the next part they want me to read is, David continued, "The same Lord who delivered me from the claws of the lion and the bear will deliver me from the hand of the Philistine." Saul answered David, "Go, the Lord will be with you." They're saying no matter what it is you're facing right now, whether it's internal, external, or both, whether it's spiritual warfare, whether it's a mental thing, an emotional thing, or even something with your physical health, or even if it's financial or just your living situation with your job, whatever it may be, school, or just trying to get something off the ground, they're saying whatever it may be, no matter the situation you are facing, they said do not forget that your higher ups are with you. Just like David said, "The same Lord who delivered me from the claws of the lion and the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine." They're saying if God did it once, God will do it again. I tell y'all all the time, God did not give up on you, so don't give up on God. That's exactly what that means. If God done got you through this thing, and God done got you through that thing, and God done got you through this thing, what makes you think God's not going to get you through this? Just because it's different, or you may never face something like this before, or this is considered a giant, considered to what you faced before, that don't mean that you're not going to get through it, boo. Like I tell y'all all the time, you survived 100% of your life up to now. What the fuck make you think you not gonna survive the rest of it? Just because this is bigger than what you may have thought it was, or something may have grew out of control like a wildfire unexpectedly, it does not mean that you will not come up out of this, long as you remember who got your back. The next part they want me to read is the preparation for the encounter. We've been speaking about my big sis Left Eye in her quote, "A struggle is nothing but a preparation for what is yet to come." They're saying right now, some of y'all, could they showing me like two big rocks bang against each other? Some of y'all right now about to go head to head with something that they're saying that you've been needed to handle, that you've been needed to slay, that you've been needed to confront. And they're saying, I'm hearing, "Do not fear, for I am with you." They're saying there is no need for fear. All last week they kept saying, "Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry." And most of the time, what do humans do? We worry. They're saying, baby, shift your focus and prepare for the encounter. Then Saul dressed David in his own, I believe that's tunic, putting a bronze helmet on his head and arming him with a coat of mail. David also fastened Saul's sword, not David's, but Saul's sword over the tunic. He walked with difficulty. However, since he had never worn the armor before, he said to Saul, "I cannot go in these because I am not used to them." So he took them off. This man, this boy, this youth is about to go into battle, and he took off the armor that most people would wear back in the day to go into battle. He went against the norms. He said, "I understand that this works for you, but that's not going to work for me because it's causing difficulty." Okay, first message, don't make shit harder than what it got to be, okay? Also, stick to your blueprint. We speak about that blueprint meeting all last year. How no one was there but you and God in that blueprint meeting. Stick to your blueprint, baby, okay? They're saying they have prepared you. The certain experiences or encounters that you may have had up to this point has prepared you for this, I'm hearing, pivotal moment. They're saying you don't need all that extra stuff. Just show up and be you, baby. So they said, so he took them off. Then, staff in hand, David selected 5 smooth stones from the wadi and put them in the pocket of his shepherd's bag. With his sling in hand, he approached the Philistine. First, they got me looking at the number 5. The fact that he picked to have 5 stones, we've been speaking about 5 and speaking about 5 and speaking about 5, how 5 is the number of change, whether it be good or bad change. And what they're showing me right now in my head is the picture of the 5 of Wands, which stands for like a great change happening, something being uncomfortable happening in order to create a shift. Because the card right after the 5 of Wands is the 6 of Wands, which represents, good God, represents a victory. They're saying, baby, you might be uncomfortable right now, but like I tell y'all all the time, there is no path to success in your comfort zone. You cannot get that legacy done being comfortable. The ones that came before you did it uncomfortable. Martin Luther King said that what they call them, sit-ins, and then did marches, and then had water and dogs and all types of shit released on him. You don't think he was uncomfortable? Them people tried to bomb his house and his family was not protected. You don't think they felt like they were sitting in a fishbowl? It's one thing to get threatened. It's another thing to have somebody show up to your house where your wife and your children are and actually try to harm you. Baby, it come with a price. Like my goddaddy Kurt Franklin say, that's what you signed up for. It's going to come with pain. It's going to come with difficulty. It's going to come with misunderstanding. It's going to come with having to do something against the norms and going against the grain. It's going to come with people not understanding you, yo. It's going to come with things that you may not be used to. And they said earlier, they said that Goliath was a warrior from his youth. And they were trying to say that David wasn't because they felt like David did not display warrior activities, but they didn't know that it's in him, not on him. Your situation, your environment where you come from does not qualify you, or it does not more so define what you are qualified for. It was your preparation, sweethearts. That's what it was. It was your preparation. The fact that he picked 5 stones, that meant it was a great change coming. And then they said, put him in the shepherd's bag. I believe they said, yes, he had a staff in his hand. The thing about sheep, they could be very vulnerable. Very vulnerable. There's something of value, though, because back in the day, if you had a flock of sheep, you was able to get money. You exchange a sheep for something else. You exchange this for that. You sell a sheep, you get food. See, and they spoke about this in The Alchemist. If you read the book, The Alchemist, the boy was a shepherd, I believe. When I say he went through a fucking journey, I want to tell y'all what happened. Because when I say that book's so amazing, he went through a fucking journey. They say, oh, you're supposed to be a shepherd, but he ended up, you'll see when you read the book, man. They're saying, baby, you need to tap back into that soul journey, that soul purpose. They said these difficulties that you going through, baby, it ain't no punishment. It's to wake that soul up. It's to wake that soul up, baby. The Alchemist is all about getting back in tune with your soul journey and what you were really sent for. That boy was seeing shit that other people couldn't see. Just like I tell y'all with the Field of Dreams, they call him crazy. Oh, you done cut up 95% of your crops. You about to lose your house, your wife, your child. But no, his wife stood 10 toes down with him, baby. The people that are for you. Even so, because sometimes people, this is what I mean by people could be in your proximity but not in your corner. Yes, Saul, he may have provided certain things for David, but he questioned David though. He told him, you're not prepared for this. You can't go up against no giant. He been doing this. You just a little baby. Then he was like, okay, well, if you gonna do it, take this, take that, take this. But that's what I mean by be a buffalo and not a cow. Don't run from it. And do it your way. Just like in the Field of Dreams, they say he was crazy. They done had a whole town meeting about the man. Why we got to have a town meeting about what I'm doing at my house on my land? My dirt is different from your dirt. My crops is different from your crops. My purpose is different from your purpose. It's like the town was trying to peer pressure him into being what they wanted him to be. And he was like, no, I'm seeing these visions. I'm hearing these voices. I'm going to do what they're telling me to do because they're not going to leave me alone until I do anyway. And he went against the grain. And because he stayed in tune with that soul journey, he ended up getting rewarded with being able to play baseball with his father, who had passed on at the end of the movie. Sometimes you may not understand what these people are doing, the higher ups that is, or what it is that they're telling you. You may think that the difficulty or the storm that you facing is something that you may not be able to get through. But I'm hearing it again, like my God daddy say, that's what you signed up for. You tap into that blueprint. That blueprint will tell you how to get through it, baby. Now, they want me to look at thus. David triumphed over the Philistine with the sling and the stone. He struck the Philistine dead and did it without a sword in his hand. That's what they mean when they say, God say, take your hand off the situation. Swords represent truth. Swords represent justice. Swords represent communication. Swords represent mental activity. Right now, sweetheart, stay focused on y'all and your mission and what these people sent you to do. And they're saying you will get through it just fine. Because the section that last scripture I just read is under is called David's victory. I said they showed me the 5 of wands and they flipped it and showed me the 6 of wands, and that person was on a horse. And we already spoke about how horses stand for strength, freedom, victory, and power. Things moving forward, endurance. Horses can run for a long ass time, yo, because they built for it. Stop forgetting what you built for. Small thing to a giant, you can overcome it. Like I told y'all before, the giant was not Goliath. The giant was David. Mind of a champion, heart of a warrior. Get back tapped in, boo. Love you, babies. Mwah.